What's going on, guys, and welcome. It's InfernoKun here with a Life is Strange discussion. This one's going to be about the episode 3 ending, the shocking ending with Chloe being paralyzed, and it is definitely a very big shocker. Now, obviously, of course, Max went back in time to go ahead and stop William from dying, and that caused things to go out of whack. We have basically the whole timeline change. We have Chloe being paralyzed, William's alive, of course. We have Warren being with Stella, Max being in the Vortex Club, and then we have, of course, David being a bus driver. So, world messed up, stuff's going on, and we have to go ahead and probably change that. Now, you can even see going back in time and changing William's death definitely put a different turn on the world, because we see whales washing up on shore and they're dead. So, of course, the world is not reacting very good to this change in time, and Max is causing it because, of course, we had the birds dying around Arcadia Bay. That was kind of the first step, or the one of many steps to what's going on right now. Now we have whales washing up on shore, the animals are basically dying and stuff like that, and it's all because of what Max has been doing. She's been rewinding and stopping different events from happening, and the world is kind of suffering from it. And it's kind of leading up to what's going to happen in the end, where of course Max is seeing Arcadia Bay being destroyed by the giant tornado that's coming probably in the future, and of course Max doing stuff that changing events in time isn't helping that out very well. So obviously, of course, going back to episode 3, the ending, now of course Max is kind of like in the present timeline where things are changed because of William being alive. It's kind of like, how is she going to undo everything if she even wants to? Because I doubt she wants to have Chloe being immobilized, but even if having William be alive makes Chloe happy, will she want to go back to how things were? Chloe being miserable because her dad's gone, and that would be how that would happen. Now, of course, in episode 4, I think we might go back to how things actually were, because us being at this point in time where things are changed, our choices aren't really, here anymore. Choices were in the last timeline where things were actually normal. So having our choices be gone in this timeline makes things a bit iffy for if they want to go ahead and continue with the timeline. So definitely we're going to be going back, maybe having William actually die and fix how things were. Maybe even explain to Chloe what happened in this new timeline, and even tell her like, hey, I went back in time to whenever your dad was still alive and stopped him from going off to go pick up Joyce in his car. That stopped the death of him, and it caused you to go ahead and be a cripple, be disabled, and that could actually get Chloe a bit more pissed off at you. She might be like, hey, go back and change that. I don't care what happens to me, as long as my dad is alive, I don't care. That could be the reaction of Chloe at that moment. Because obviously Chloe did love William a lot, obviously it's her dad, and she might even want to be crippled just to have him back, and she might take that risk, but I doubt Max will go ahead and have that happen, because it would be a huge choice if we could pick which timeline we want, because that would be kind of a huge thing, but it won't happen probably, because that's like 2 different scenarios for like 2 different timelines. So definitely probably won't happen, because it would be a lot more difficult to write that kind of story for like 2 different scenarios on 2 different timelines and 2 different things to happen at that point. So you could say that we need him to be dead for the world to actually go ahead and work how it used to be, because that change right there is way too big. Because when he died, everything folded off for years. You change that, the time between those years, it all unfolds differently. If you guys haven't seen a movie called Flashpoint Paradox, it definitely puts you at a different perspective on what's going on, because obviously they are the same world, Life is Strange and The Flash, but it kind of gets you a different perspective on the concept of what Dontnod is doing with Life is Strange. It's kind of a bit interesting to see what makes Life is Strange different from The Flash, and it's kind of really interesting. So that's my discussion. Tell me your thoughts about this. Max's new power to go back in time, looking at photos and going back in time. I hope we see more of her power, because, going back in time, we can go ahead and do that. Maybe you can go back to whenever Rachel was here and just meet her and look for clues on where she might think about going and what might happen to her. So that's actually a good discussion topic. Like, if we were to photo travel using the most recent picture of Rachel and possibly find clues about what happened to her. That'd be pretty interesting if that happens, and that would be pretty cool if that actually goes on like that. So thank y'all for watching. If you guys did enjoy, leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and comment down below your theories and predictions of what's going to happen in episode 4, Dark Room. It's been InfernoKun once again. Thank y'all for watching, subscribe for more, and I'm out.